Somebody hands you a selector full of nth child and asks why the test broke. A designer moved a div. There's a better way to point at things, and it reads like English. 3 tricks today. Chaining, which is how you give directions instead of an address. Then combining descriptions so you can say both of these or either of these. And last, the sealed box that everybody warns you about, which turns out to be almost no trouble at all. Start with chaining because honestly it changes how you think about the whole page, not just how you write one line. Here's how I tell a colleague to find it. In the sidebar. Inside that, the notifications block. Inside that, the email alert switch. Notice what happened. Each step didn't add to a selector. It shrank the room. By the time we get to that switch, there's exactly one place it could be, and nothing else on the page can be confused for it. 2 ways to write it, and they do exactly the same thing. Store each step in a variable if you want the reading order to be obvious. Sidebar, then the region, then the switch. Or run the whole thing together as one chain. I use the variables when I'm debugging, honestly, because I can print each one and see what it found. And on the page, it's this ordinary. Into the sidebar. Then the notifications block inside it. Then the toggle, and it flips. Nothing clever happening anywhere, no explicit waiting, and not one nth child in sight. So if a designer reorders those blocks tomorrow morning, this test doesn't care even slightly. The directions still hold, because the sidebar is still the sidebar.
Right.
Sometimes one description isn't quite enough on its own, and you need to say 2 things at once. Say 4 things on the page could plausibly be what you want. Buttons, links, all sorts. And underscore takes 2 descriptions and keeps only what satisfies both. So it has to be a button, and it has to be titled save. Save draft is a link, so it goes. Submit has no title. Cancels title says close. 1 survivor. In code that's and underscore, with a trailing underscore. Which looks odd, I know. But and or are reserved words in Python, so Playwright had no choice. Or underscore is the mirror image. Whichever one turns up, take it. That's the pattern for when a submit either opens a dialog or throws an error, and you genuinely don't know which. Now, a different shape of question. Not what is this thing, but what does it contain? Filter with has not keeps the containers that are missing something, so every product card that hasn't got a sold out badge on it. 3 of these 6 survive. Try writing that as a CSS selector sometime. Go on. Here it is. Grab every product card, then filter out any that contain the word sold out, and click the first one left. Notice the argument is a locator, not a string. You're handing filter a whole description to look for inside each card. And has equals does the opposite, keeping only the ones that do contain it. Last one. And it's the one people turn up absolutely terrified of, which I've never really understood. Open the inspector on one of these fancy date pickers, and you hit this. A node called shadow root, and everything you wanted is behind it, which is why people turn up to this topic braced for a fight. In Selenium, fair enough. JavaScript incantations. In Playwright though, getBy label just walks in. So does getBy role. Plain CSS, same story. Every locator you already know pierces an open shadow root, for free, without anybody asking it to. One exception, mind. XPath genuinely cannot see inside. It's the only tool in the box that can't. And this is the punchline. The code for reaching inside a shadow root is just the code. There's no shadow locator function, no piercing flag, no special anything. You write the line you'd have written if the shadow DOM had never existed, and it works. Which is the whole point. The complexity is somebody else's problem now. Test yourself, because this is the bit people forget. A date input sits inside a shadow DOM. Which one fails to reach it? Pause if you like. Ready? It's C. Every getBy and every CSS locator sees inside. One caution and it catches people. Shadow DOM and iframes look similar from outside. Both are a document tucked inside a document. They're not the same thing at all. Your locators pierce a shadow root without being asked. And iframe still needs frame locator. Every single time, exactly like episode 11. For lines to take with you. Chaining gives directions, and each link searches inside the last. And underscore narrows to both, or underscore takes either. Filter with has, or has not asks about children. And your locators walk into a shadow root unasked. All except XPath. Next time, running the whole suite in parallel and handing the whole thing over to a robot on a schedule. Whole course is free, by the way, over at the Playwright Dojo.